We have our orders. Leave the city, radio command from outside the storm wall. They send in the cavalry, we go home.
If you've yet to play the ruddy magnificent Spec Ops The Line, well, it just got a lot bloody harder to do so, as 2K Games just removed the game from all digital storefronts due to expiring licenses.
Do you feel like a hero yet?
Jesus, it's like they want us to pirate games at this point. But if you're thinking it's not all doom and gloom as physical copies still exist, well, hold your horses, Sonny Jim, because once again when a game gets delisted, the scalpers creep out of their basements and get their greedy, slimy mitts all over every easily available copy, then they resell it at astonishingly high, rip-off bloody prices.
Why?
To twats aside, it's just a damn shame that one of the 7th generation's best hidden gems is now, essentially, gone forever.
This isn't right. None of this is right.
Well, that is unless you want to pay out your nose for it, or maybe sneakily sail the high seas. And who would blame you, as in the current day and age of modern gaming, if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing.
Savvy?
But instead of focusing on the state of modern gaming and all that delisting bollocks, let's just pay our respects to Spec Ops The Line.
Welcome to Dubai, gentlemen.
Released in 2012 and brought to us by Jaeger Developments with 2K Games Publishing, Spec Ops The Line is a third-person cover-based shooter like no other. The game received generally positive reception upon its release, praising its excellent story, but many outlets all agreed the overall gameplay lacked a bit of polish. However, Ruddy ignored that, as while the game may look like your typical run-and-gun shooter, it is in fact so much more.
Welcome to Hell, Walker.
Most war-themed games tend to give players a power fantasy of bullets and blood with little repercussions or afterthought. Whereas Spec Ops The Line smartly delves deep into the horrors of war and the effects it can have on one's sanity, which just leaves a lasting impression on you, the player, long after you've put the controller down and switched off the system. The way this game handles its controversial subject matter just leads to a game that is utterly harrowing yet immensely replayable.
Dubai's running out of time, gentlemen. Let's move.
Protagonist Captain Walker and his men are not the heroes of this story. There are no heroes here, just soldiers taking orders and doing their job. And as we know, war is hell. And honestly, no game before or since has ever so hauntingly captured the true horrors, the effects, the trauma, and the consequences of the actions one may take on the battlefield.
Welcome to Hell, Walker.
Sure, other military shooters have also dipped their toes in these morally ambiguous waters, even Call of Duty has had the odd dabble, but most of the time they are undone by big, action, blockbuster set pieces and the overall America F yeah one-man army patriotism that people crave, whereas Spec Ops consistently doubles down on ramping up the dread as well as tackling complex themes while continually heightening the paranoia. And as a result, the game starts to transform into a tense, psychological horror before your very eyes, as you question what is real, who to believe. I mean, it's just so goddamn unnerving, with even small details like loading screens and hints starting to seem a wee bit off the further you progress and dive into madness.
There is a line men like us have to cross.
This all just culminates in a nail-biting, thought-provoking, utterly gripping, morality-bending experience that's not to be missed.
Do you feel like a hero yet?
And yeah, that's all I can say on the story, as the less you know, the better. Gameplay, however, while tight and punchy, isn't all that original, but it does the job. Typical Gears of War pop and cover stuff. Yeah, you move, you hide, you dodge and you shoot. Nothing all that inventive, but it's well made and solid. Visually, however, Spec Ops looks incredible, with its war-torn towns and sandy vistas engulfing the player in environments that may look beautiful, but always feel dangerous and unknown at the same time. Yet, what makes Spec Ops completely unforgettable is sheerly down to its storytelling and the soul-crushing nature of it. Whether it be in-game events or gut-wrenching cutscenes, it's just so goddamn good.
What?
The sun may be scorching the sandy locales of Spec Ops The Line, yet it's the inner darkness and the demons that can form in it that shines the brightest and makes this one of the best and most immersive video games to grace the 7th generation.
You're no savior. Your talents lie elsewhere.
So basically, if you can find a copy before the greedy wanking scalpers gobble them all up, then I highly suggest you do. Have I convinced you to check out Spec Ops The Line? Or if you've already played it, let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, you guys stay tipsy.